Over 32,000 different therapists have watched this cringe-worthy video.
Hi there, my name is Maelisa Hall with QA Prep, and today I wanted to talk to you about turning your session into a note.
The thing is, while the quality and presentation of the video might suck, the content is actually still pretty good. So go me. Hi, I'm Dr. Maelisa McCaffrey, founder of the free Private Practice Paperwork Crash Course, and today you are going to learn how to turn a therapy session into a progress note, updated for 2023. Now, in this video, we're not going to talk about the specific sections of a progress note because I've already talked about that in another recent video, so we will link to that up here somewhere and also in the description below. So go ahead and click on that to check it out next. Now, when you sit down to write a progress note, it's helpful to think about actions. So what were the things you did and what were the things the client did? And you can think of anything that the client did, so things they said, ways they presented, ways they behaved, as client presentation, client progress, client symptoms. You can think about anything that you did as interventions. And yes, even as I mentioned back in that video from 2016, even if you sat and barely did anything, you still intervened. You still provided interventions. And likewise, even if your client sat there and didn't say anything and refused to participate, that is still client presentation and progress or lack thereof. So rather than thinking of your session chronologically, it can be helpful to think of it in terms of interaction. So what your client did, what you did, and vice versa. And it's helpful to start with either yourself or the client, and then just go through all of those actions and then turn to the next person. So for example, if you start with yourself, then think of all the interventions you provided, list those, and then you can start to document your client's response to those, your client's progress that they reported, and your client's presentation during the session. On the flip side, you can start with what your client presented. So topics or themes that they discussed, what they said, how they presented, other things that they talked about. Then you can move on to what's next, the plan part of your progress note. So here, again, you can think of, are there any things that you'll be following up on, referrals you'll be providing, resources you're providing, and for your client, things that they are going to be reflecting on over the next week, an action they're going to take, another provider they're going to see, and when is your next session? And boom, your note is done. Now, I know this is a much more simplified version than what you are actually doing in practice. However, starting out this way really makes writing the note a lot more easy. And another thing I recommend is use cheat sheets and check boxes as often as possible to write ahead of time the things that you frequently write in notes. This makes it easier to personalize information without having to actually produce the written information for your note. Now, if you want more specific help on how to actually do just that, you can check out my online course, Documentation Made Easy. And in that course, I walk you through all the components of how to write a progress note, and I give you a copy of my personal progress note template. Okay, now click below to watch that other video on progress notes and what the components of a progress note are. Then stop procrastinating on YouTube and get to writing those notes. Happy writing.